Well, now, I have been poor before. I was actually born in a poor family. Very poor family, actually. Now, so I think there is no one else who is better than me to actually explain exactly what is the fastest way out of poverty. Listen, when you go to any typical town and you see people moving up and down, they are very busy. You know what? Sleepless nights and what have you. You see, the enemy is one, my dear friends and my dear brothers and sisters. The enemy one. The enemy is poverty, especially in Africa. I mean, I don't know why someone says poverty goes synonymous with Africa. So what would be the fastest way out of poverty? Yeah, I know you're going to bring the issue of leaders here. First of all, let's put the politics aside. Let's assume there were no leaders because like we don't have leaders in Africa. Let's assume that we're going to do something by ourselves. What are the things that you would like to do? Anyway, by the way, one of the things to actually affect yourself a lot is actually wasting time. And I don't want to waste of your time. I just want to tell you this. Go ahead and like the video. By the way, see, someone is here teaching you something that can help you tremendously. It's about how to eradicate poverty. And he's asking you to simply like the video. It does not cost you anything. You know why? If you disregard liking this video, one of the things that causes poverty in Africa is something called ignorance. Ignorance. If you can kill ignorance, that's what I'm telling you. Like the video, you're still looking at me. You're like, even if I don't like you, won't even know it. See, ignorance. First thing to get out of the poverty is to kill ignorance. You see, the way I usually come here and I tell you, you can invest with 3,000, you can invest with 300, you can invest with $10. You're like, that's what can even do and whatever. You see, the problem you're doing is you're comparing where you want to be and where you are. For example, let me ask a very simple question. As you hit that like button and make sure that you subscribe. Let's say, for example, I even forgot to write the title of the video, See, let's say, for example, this is your future. Your future, you want to have, say, 10 million. Let's say 10 million means everything to you. Let's say you have 10 million, whatever, dollars, bills, rands, whatever the thing it is. And here you are, okay? This is here where you stand. And guess how much you have in your pocket? You only, for God's sake, you only have 500. All right? And this is where you want to be. So this is a very vast distance. This is a vast distance. All right, you're gonna take a lot of sweat, sacrifice, discipline, and whatever. You only have this 500, and then this is when you are consuming the good Joseph's videos. Joseph's telling you buy shares, buy stocks, whatever. Maybe let's say you are 22 years old, you are 30 years old, and whatever. Okay, see, now you're like, he's telling me to buy shares. How will even shares help me to meet it there? See, do that what you can before you get that what you want. Ignorance, that is what is affecting most of the people who look like me. You see that color? People who look like me. Listen, one thing. We are all great and we are created tremendously. There are wealthy people in this great continent called Africa. Go check somebody like the name Aliko Dangote. Ooh, the guy actually, I don't know, he added, I don't know how many billions in terms of dollars. Great people can achieve something if you are greatness. See, listen, that thing that affects most of us and my fellow black people is because of ignorance. If you make a decision, kill that ignorance. You tend to think like, oh, I cannot do anything. I have to wait until I reach there. I don't have to do this. You kill ignorance. Hey, listen, point number 2 that is very, very much important is graphical mobility. Please have something called, not graphical, geographical mobility, geographical mobility. My friend, listen, you are born in Kathmandu, you are born in, I don't know what village somewhere, with all the due respect to Kathmandu is a great place in India. Now, is it India or Pakistan? Whatever. Now, the point is this, yeah? I just use the name randomly. Now, geographical mobility. Please, my friend, you were born in a village somewhere. Are we together? You people, the only thing that you know is to plant maize or corns. I don't know, you harvest this. You only know about, looking after animals and like, change the environment. If the environment is not working, how many of here would agree with me? The moment you migrated from your place, if it is not work, it doesn't have to be necessarily anyway. If you're there and you're doing farming and you're doing good, it's okay, you can stay there. But if you're staying in the same location, you're poor, things are not working out. The only thing that you're hanging around people who are just smoking, taking alcohol, average people, complainants, people who are waiting for the politicians to get that 100 shilling, $100, 100, whatever the thing it is. You're just, you see, change the location, there's something called geography. You see, when I was in Form 1, that is in high school, one of the characteristics that we learned about a living animal is that they move from one place to another. You are not moving. You are doing nothing. You are staying there expecting a change. You cannot get it. Get out of your place, go to a place, get to that city, even if you do not know anybody. Some people go there, you get hosted for 3-5 days, you go to the next place, you no. I can give you examples of 4, 5, 10 people who have actually done that. You move from one different location to another to try to change the way you perceive things, the way you think, how people do your thing. By the way, listen, for me, I do not take alcohol. I've never taken alcohol. I don't take any drugs. Are we together? Okay. Now, see, do you know what is my drug? My drug is to move. My friend, I move a lot. I always tell people that my drag is movement. And when I'm moving there, yes, true, I enjoy those trips and whatever. And as I'm moving, I'm looking for opportunities. I'm seated there, I would like to know what happens there. I would like to know what happens there. What opportunities lying there. By the way, you might be having 100,000 shillings in your pocket. You might be having 10,000. You might be having something. Maybe that 100,000 in Nairobi cannot do anything for you. Maybe that whatever in wherever you are cannot do anything. But if you migrate it to a different location, and let me say, listen, for those who are believers, they believe in God, the creator of heaven and earth, and Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior. There is somewhere in the Bible that Abraham was told to leave his family behind and go to a known land. And that's where he received the blessings. That's where he received greatness. So you are seated there, the clarion call is calling you, the vibrations of the economies are telling you, migrate from where you are, go to a different place, you're going to get something. Listen, my friend, change is a challenge. Change is a challenge. And he who doesn't change his mind is a fool. Change is a challenge. And listen, by the way, you see these great countries that we admire in the West. They once had those slums. They once had the problems. Go read about, I don't know, the black, whatever happened in the Europe and it killed a lot of people. You know, I mean, they went through a lot. Sometimes I usually see the government is trying, okay, let me not go the government, you might think I'm an agent of the government and I'm not. For example, let's say you want to build a highway somewhere. It will affect people will have fight back, but at long last, it will bring a change to people. People, they are so clinging to the thing that they are used to and they're expecting a change. Change the geographical location, geographical mobility, move from one point to other so that you can learn something new. Are we together? Now, the other thing as far as the changing or the fastest way route to actually get out of poverty is something called mindset shift. Mindset. By the way, did you see how I introduced this video at the beginning? I was once poor, so I know something that I can tell you what you can be able to do. I use the term poor with a very keen caution or cautious. I was very cautious. Most of the people are never poor. There's a difference between being broke and poor. Being broke, that's what we used to be back when I was young. We didn't have money. We were broke. Poverty, it is in the mindset. I always tell people, poverty starts in your mind before it goes in your pocket. That's the reality. The same case applies. Wealth starts in your head before it goes into your pocket. Listen, I don't know whether we have anybody who we schooled with here watching this video. I don't know if I can get any comment on the comment section. When we graduated, they used to say there are no jobs. I don't know whether we can make it. I never ever told myself anything like that. I graduated and I was happy. I was like, okay, fine. I know there are no jobs, but I was painting. Can you imagine this? A full graduate. I was doing painting, and I'm not saying that painting is the worst job, but it was worse to me based on what I was having as qualifications. But I was doing that thing passionately, but I was not contented. I knew one day I'm not looking to be just like this dude like forever. No, I was looking forward in pushing along, pushing myself until I achieve that's what I want. You see, poverty, you only kill poverty, the mindset. I hate when people say poverty is lack of money. No, that is being broke. Poverty is here, it is in your mindset. Have you ever tried to help somebody who is already poor in his mind or her mind? You cannot even change what they think. You tell them that it can be done. You see, in their family, they have never seen somebody coming in a car in his or their compound. So if you tell them they will one day buy a car, they can manage, they can do it. They think like you're talking is a rocket science, something can never be achieved. They cannot accommodate it. They cannot house it. You know, by the way, if you guys didn't know, back when I was in high school, I was so good at sciences. I was not good at this language called English. I used to just hate it. You know, I didn't love to. And the teacher told me, Joseph, you're so bright. Don't have a negative attitudes towards English. You can perform, you can do better. And I used to tell the teacher, no, teacher, I don't know. I just have an issue with this lab subject. I don't want it. You see, I was telling myself, you can't. See, but I changed. Okay, well, I didn't perform that much. I got like a B anyway, but that was okay with me based on what I was aiming for anyway. I mean, English was one of the English that is one of the subjects that I performed poorly, if you didn't know, okay? Now, the point is you change your mindset, mind shift. You change it, transform it, make a 360 turnaround. Even if you're going to your job, you're earning 10,000 a month, tell yourself you're great, you can do it, you can achieve it. Are we together? Are we together? And the moment you do that, then you cannot kill poverty if you do not have something called, there's something called, management. Managing your finances, financial management. If you do not have something called financial management, I'm telling you, you and poverty, you always be like this. Financial management. Listen, and I'm not preaching, I'm not a pastor, but there's something I can tell you. Even God stops growth where there is no management. True, that is it. Growth ceases where there is no management. No matter how much you're having, you have to manage it. You have to. Listen, if you cannot be trusted with 1,000 shilling to manage it, if you cannot be trusted by $100 to manage it, I'm telling you, even if you are given 100,000, you still see, money don't change people. Money doesn't change people. It amplifies who you are. If you are rude, arrogant, insensitive, callous, that's what you're going to be when you have money. You're going to just elevate that. You're going to be arrogant. You're going to be a big arrogant person. If you are humble, if you are love to help, if you are this kind of, you just become more of that. If you're a philanthropist, you just love to give regardless that you don't, you're going to be that. It just elevates, just amplifies who you are. People don't change. You say, oh, he got money, he changed, he's now arrogant. No, he was broke. That's why he couldn't be arrogant. They say poverty humbles a man, yeah? Anyway, hope you got the point that I was talking about. So you have to have what you call the financial management. Even if you have 10, manage that. Put it across, set aside. You see, I met wow. I was so inspired by this group of ladies that I met sometimes back. They are house girls. I met them somewhere. And and when I say house, I don't know what I can frame it, house managers, let me use that term. And then they were just saving as little as 3,500 each and every month. And guess how much that was from their salary? Close to half. These ladies were earning 10-ish thousand around there. They were saving 3,500, and there were several of them. They come from a certain estate. They told me, Joseph, just come to a place and talk to us and something of sort to show us how we can be able to invest. If I tell you what those ladies have achieved, it is so tremendous. Forget about that. I also met some other ladies who are actually employed in a hotel or restaurant, whatever, these makeshift hotels and whatever, where you sell food for, these people who are doing businesses. If you come from Africa, you know what I'm talking about, and they were saving only 150 shilling each and every day. She knew she was being paid 450 per day. So she knew 150 will actually go for her savings, 300 would actually go for her normal spendings, the fare or the transport or whatever you're going to call it. She was actually managing that, setting aside each and every time, setting aside, knowing that a time will come and I can do you know what? She managed to save that amount of money in a circle. She managed to actually buy herself a second-hand motorbike. She gave that motorbike to somebody. That somebody is actually bringing her as little as 300 Kenyan shilling each and every day. Well, I know sometimes it may be tough, but for God's sake, 300 is coming in. She's also posting her 150, so it's 400. I mean, that's how you grow yourself. Financial management. Another thing, there is something called networking. Networking. You know what they say? Show me your friends, I tell you who you are. There you are. You're saying, oh, I'm an introvert. I don't love interacting with people. Thank you. And you're poor. You're broke. I'm an introvert. I just live in thank you. You need to get out. Talk to people. Let them tell you something. There's something you can learn. Here and there. You can actually go ahead and improve your life. You see, the money that we look, there is this, my vernacular sayings, I'm not going to say it, but it says that the money that we're looking for, it is in people's pockets. That's where the money is. So if you do not talk to people, listen, I'm here making these videos, sharing this information to you. You people, you'll watch this video, you will enjoy, you will give me the like, you will subscribe, you'll leave me a comment, of course, and then at the end of the day, some of you will actually call me for consultations. I make some, see, the money I want and I'm having, it's in the people's pocket. So if you're not interacting with those people, you can be an introvert, but now this is the last point I was to share with you. Let me just introduce it here. Learn tradable skills, and offer solutions. I'm now explaining my first point of networking, and this one, you learn a tradable skill. And so, see, there are skills that you can learn them, but you can't make money out of them. So if you're just jumping and you don't even know how you can monetize jumping to get money out of it, then there is no even necessary of jumping. If it's all about hobby and keeping fit, it's okay. You know, I tell people, I met one guy who is actually, keeping fit enthusiast. He spends his time in gym and whatever. I told him, come on, dude, you can make some cash out of this. People are suffering from obesity. How about you get yourself a channel where you'll be making this video, showing people how you can fit. Do you want abs? You can do this. Do you want this? You can do this. No, 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 no. And then you partner with somebody who knows about nutrition. You tell them, if you want to cut weight, don't eat this, do this, do this. You can buy a course meal that I'm selling for this amount of, but you're making money. Yo, learn tradable skills that can help you to grow yourself and move yourself to the next level. That is exactly how you do it. It is not a rocket science. I didn't say it's easy anyway. Of course, it's always easier said than done. I mean, if it's easier done than said, everyone would be wealthy. When I say, if you have a problem networking with people, then close your doors, sit before your computer, write a book, partner with the people who have good skills of selling and sales and skills. You can make money out of your book. See, you are an introvert. You spend a lot of time watching movies, series, and whatever, just having fun, having fun. You're doing nothing about it, then you're complaining. And you want to break that poverty cycle from your family. You ain't gonna do that. You have to go out there and you have to. Swahili we say, ujitume. Kujituma, it means like you have to grind, be there. And the last thing, business is actually one of the fastest way that can get yourself out of poverty. That's what we call the entrepreneurship. Learn the skills of entrepreneurship, the skill of selling. Anybody who has a very good tongue, listen, anybody who has a very good tongue, who is eloquent, vocal, audible, charisma, aura, confidence, and you have the ability to sell, I am telling you the amount of money that you can make in this world is inevitable. Maybe probably this is the end of my video. You feel like, oh good, Joseph, I waited a very miraculous thing, a very mechanical solution to my problem, and boom, I'll be wealthy after this video. Yo, it doesn't happen that way. It is never an event, it's a process. Take your time, grind, show up every day. You ain't gonna miss your lucky day. This is Good Joseph speaking. If you'd like to get my services, as always, pick that number, find from the description of this specific video. Let's talk business. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.